Hello, fellow trader. Welcome to Dean's Dojo. This is my journal. So this is the first day. It was the first day of my new program or my new goal with that I proposed in the last video with my goal and my rules. And I honestly wrote these rules up before the day started, and that first day I violated already my stop rule, and it's weird. Um, it is a bit weird, but again, it doesn't deter me from now that I start to also openly just speak about it. So maybe that helps me, right? Okay, and I want to be very transparent with all the trades. It's not just arrows, but I'm gonna show them I cannot show them on this chart because it's an overlay. So it's the MES that I trade in the background, but the chart itself is ES. So if I toggle here my data series, if I toggle the plotting, it's all going to be a huge mess, and the markers are going to be, I don't know where. They're going to be at some point here, but that doesn't, because it's the daily chart in the background of the MES. Never mind, doesn't matter. I'm going to show them on the 5-minute chart, so that you could, if you want to see all the trades I took. Yeah, I just want to be very transparent. So, I mean, here they are. It's hard to see, but you could see every single one of them here. And I'm gonna go through them. Again, I do my journaling. I started it and I like it a lot. I like my journaling. It's a very good way. It's just the best. So I started the day, and what I saw, like pre-market, I took from yesterday's data, also this point, and here. So I saw a support, and I thought this could start to be a range. I don't know if there's anything to learn here. We didn't really bounce from this level in this day. So the lower level wasn't too clear. So maybe that's something to change. But from channel-wise, I was taking care, and I had a channel like this, a bit more narrow, right? Just a bit more narrow. And then it broke and made a new low, so that played out. And then I took a failed breakout, because my premise was this is a range. We just broke out. We finished our down channel. It's a failed breakout. So the only thing to learn here is that maybe we have to not consider so much these little bounces before on the day before. So I would say that the top was a pretty clear, strong resistance, but this is not very sure. So, but yeah, I took my chance. It's not horrible. Then it worked on down, and I changed my channel maybe a bit like this, but that's the maximum I would change it, because this fits well. And here I differ with Thomas for one time. He has a channel like broad. He's got it somehow like this, which also looks okay, but I would say it doesn't really take into account this first bounce. So he is constantly waiting for a new low of this channel, right? And he says, yeah, this is maybe a new low, but if you have the channel like this, and Mac also has it like that, so these are small things, but for once I differ, and I think this is correct. It breaks and makes a new low. So from then on, the nice thing is that now we have the first time this failed 3 push lower, and that's one of my setups. I can go back to my setup list. Well, where is it? Here. 3 failed push higher or lower, and that's my special. And it's good to see that Mac has this trade marked as green as well. And it goes like this. You have to have the downtrend played out. So never take this if there is still a very active channel. But here, this channel really played out. And then we need to have 2, 3 distinct pushes down. So not like, I make an example. This here is not for me 3 pushes. 1, 2, 3. This is just matching lows. This is not different pushes for me. Also, this is only 1 push here. So in this whole block, I only see 1 push down. What I mean here is we have a push down, a correction. So I need a bar with a higher low. And then the next bar that breaks below, that's the second push. Then we have correction, third clear push. And it has to be on one level. So it cannot be that it goes lower and lower and lower every time, or even higher and higher and higher every time. It needs to be more or less on one level. Plus, the EMA has not to be touched in between. So yeah, it's a thing, but I watch it for a very long time, this one pattern, and I like it a lot. So when we need enough distance to the EMA, snaps back 2 points. That was really, I like this trade a lot. And I'm happy I took it, because that's the main thing. I really take the trades when I think I drew everything the way I can. I take the trade, okay? So happy. Then, and now comes the big mix-up here. And here I like Thomas's analysis a lot. He just says, oof, this is like, it's not a clear uptrend, you know? So it's more like range, weird range, given. It's weird, because the lows get higher and higher and higher. I don't like Max, or I don't get what he does. He, like, in hindsight, I guess, draws a, I don't know, something like this, but it's, and then where do you put the top, right? I mean, there is no confirmation. There is absolutely no confirmation on the top. If you have it here, no, here, no, here, no, here. So what's that, right? Plus, the bottom is absolutely random, because it could just as well, and then he corrects it, I think, during the lesson, to this. He corrects it to this. But then why does it start here, and why doesn't it connect to this bottom here? Like, you know, why don't you try to do this? Why do you do this, right? So then my thing was, and I had this exact same problem. So the best way would just be to sit tight here and to think this was a pretty strong downtrend. I better sit tight. My analysis at the point was, we made an exact measured move of this range, 1, 2, so we have a big range. We bounced nicely, so, and now we pushed above the EMA, very important. I guess the push is not so convincing, but at this point, my thought was, we are going to head up to overnight highs, or at least the middle or whatever. So then I see this, I see 1, so entry here, 1 entry, and then the second entry short is coming here. See, next bar is a pretty bullish inside bar, but I take inside bars. Yeah, so that's it, and I think, okay, enough room up there, and yeah, it fails on me. Okay, but I'm also not too unhappy. The thing is, it's maybe less probability, because the push above the EMA is not very convincing. It's like, yeah, it pushes up, but it comes down again. It's like a bit meandering around, okay? But not horrible. And definitely you cannot say what channel is right. At the time, the point is, I had this channel, and look how nice that looks. Starting here, connecting to the body, connecting, and up on top, confirmed. You know, no one can say that ain't valid. Okay, then next there is lots of trades. So right now I would be at -1, because -1, +1, -1, okay? So then next one, yeah, that's difficult, because, like, yeah, Thomas says, okay, now obviously the middle turned resistance, but it's not that obvious, because if you have a range, you would think it goes up to the top of that range, right? And you don't, I mean, yes, maybe be a bit leery of the middle, that's true. And now in hindsight, it's clear, because the way I have my trend now is like this, and it broke, it tried to make a new high. So, but I took this second entry long to really make a new high. The signal bar, I should have probably hindered me from taking it. And I remember it, but I thought, this is now finally, because we have a range also here. Yeah, I just wanted a new high here of that. Plus my channel was a bit flatter, and that's the thing, it's so tricky with these channels. But then sometimes I just draw them however I like them, right? So in this channel we didn't have a break, that was the first break. And 2 legs back to the EMA. So channel-wise, I don't see a reason to not take it. I only see it because it's the middle of the range that now turned resistance, and that's pretty clear. By the way, see again 3 pushes up. 1, 2, 3, and you could have gone short if you were bearish at that moment. I wasn't, alas, but I would say that's a mistake. Can avoid that. Unlike this one, or this one. So now I should have stopped, and I did. And I went out and I did other things. And that was all correct, played to my rules. I journaled. Here, that was only an example from the day before. That's first, the failed breakout. Then failed 3 push lower was green because it worked. And then failed second entry short. That didn't work. And the second entry long, that didn't work. Okay, and I write a comment. But then I came home and it was already late. And I was hungry and I don't know what's going on then. But this is the problem. This is problematic. Because then I just cannot stop. I love so much watching this stuff. And when I watch, I want to trade, right? So something to figure out. But then I saw this. And why do I want to go long there? It's terrible, right? It's into the EMA or it's a failed second entry short. But my whole premise was this. Look at this channel. It's pretty picture perfect, right? It bounces, the top is validated. Here it bounces off the midline, but then the way it shoots down the EMA, my point is I expect a new high, but the point it shoots past the EMA, would lead to probably believe that there is yet another leg down, like something like this. Yeah, but this is a tricky thing. But I think in range days, and I said that before, the single legs are more important than finding a bigger pattern. But this, I don't know, it looks wonderful, right? And so we expect a new high, which never comes. So this range again took precedence. And I think, yeah, it's difficult. But then, let's just say that we have to take care of the EMA and not do this thing. And most of all, not when we already should have stopped. And then is a tilt trade that I thought, okay, we failed again out of this range. But that range bottom got cleared out so many times, right? Yeah, here it was resistance, but not anymore. So I cannot take failed breakouts here. For this, I don't have many words. It's just, I think this is the problematic thing. Because I violated my rule and then all gates to hell open. Cannot do that. Okay. One more thing is I look at the 5-minute chart, but I don't trade anymore off of it. Well, that being said, actually I took a trade. I honestly took this one on the 5-minute chart here, you see. And it's not bad. It's absolutely not bad. This is an absolutely exhaustive move to the bottom, little bullish bar, equal lows. But I exited after it closed somehow. But this would have been a good one. Just to the next day. So anyway, from here on, this is just bad, and I have to evade this part. The rest of the day is all played to my rules. Yeah, and I'm pretty confident I'll manage. One more to the 5-minute chart. I take off my little notes, I think now, because they are annoying. I look at them just like Thomas said in this episode, by the way. He looks at them as a guidance, not to trade off of it, even though you could. It's really good, but I don't. Looking at this again. But what is the thing with this trade here, for example? Let's see when it was or at what price. This is I looked before 6.25, so that is here in this bearish bar, I think. So we saw on the 5-minute chart rejection from the EMA. So we should be very leery going long. Again, the same topic in the horrible trade in the evening. Here, 401, I think that was right here. Yeah, it was right at the EMA. So I think we have to be very careful here. And that's good to have a little look. Are we just right at the EMA on the 5-minute chart? Okay. Good. Yeah, nothing more. That was a very harsh first day, but I wasn't too sad about it because I just like my journaling and learning. Good. So anyway, I hope you have a nice day and see you next time. Bye bye.